Oh, snap.
Yo, what is going on? We have people here. I thought the people would forget about us. Guys, I got to be honest. This makes me happy. It makes me happy
too.
to
I feel warm and cozy. I'm not going to lie. I feel warm and cozy.
Listen, man, I know you guys are probably wondering. You guys are probably worried about us. And listen, the man tried to keep us down. They tried to get rid of your boys. They tried to silence us, but we couldn't be silenced. You know why? Because you're tuning into another episode of
Who's the Master?
Yo, the way that microphone just kind of popped in there, it looks almost like like a little wow, bow chicka bow bow.
Yeah, that's my assistant Scratch over there, just making sure he's. Hey, appreciate that, Scratch. Hey,
if you had licked that microphone, we might have gotten this live stream pulled. We got comments already. Yeah, we got Asmaniac. Asmaniac is active. What up, Ez?
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, yeah, fuck you. That's why I'm right here. Fuck.
Don't get us demonetized, Ez. You pushing the envelope right there. Yeah, Baba, what's going on? Why don't you tell the people what's going on?
Oh man, so much has been going on. I've been, again, sorry for the absence. That is definitely nothing to do with me. It's all Anshul's fault. No, it's really, I've been busy with trying to keep up with the Joneses, meaning financially, just trying to, I haven't had a job in years now, especially since the old pandemic had hit. I'd started working for myself, doing my own things, had money backed up and all that stuff. And now I'm kind of to that point to where we need YouTube to start making some money. And I just had to reorganize some things. I had to really focus. So also shooting a short film for a short film competition, and just multiple things, working for these DFW Italians for their video. And again, I'm not even listening to everything, but I've been busy. So that's why I've been gone. I'm sorry, guys.
Working for DFW Italians. Are you like, are these the people that killed John F. Kennedy? Is that who you're working for?
Yeah, no, I think so. Yeah, so it's a group of guys it's a bunch of people actually, and they have been an organization back, I think, literally in that time you're talking about. They were like a dominant presence in Dallas, and they had like a little Italy area, which is kind of one of the reasons that Venetian area in Las Colinas is there. What's up, Derby? Good to see you. Yeah, of course I got Snyderverse gear on. But that place had been barren, and long story short, they're trying to revitalize this little Venetian looking area. And so I'm helping them do that in a media format. But yes, they are called the DFW Italians.
Listen, Bobo's been going through some stuff. And of course, I understand being Bobo's friend. He's got to take care of what he's got to take care of. With that being said, you guys don't understand how upset I was. The last time I spoke to you, we were talking about one of the worst movies of all time. We have a review that I don't know if we'll ever put out where I'm just ripping this movie to shreds. I was so proud of this review. I'm
going to put it out.
I was so proud that I was letting the people know not to watch this shit fest. By the way, we could always talk about your boy Zachary Levi having a meltdown and flushing his career down the toilet. Unfortunately, somebody else has gone more nuclear than he's gone. And we'll talk about that person first here in a minute.
I do have to say it's disheartening about Zachary Levi, just because first off, I do like the guy, but I also have to say, like, there's a way to behave in public and a way to not behave in public, especially as an adult. And that was not the way. I'll just, you know what I mean? Like, that's just very childish in my opinion.
When you come on a live stream and you say, hey, listen, personally, I feel our movie is a better action movie than John Wick, you just flush all your credibility down the toilet. Buddy.
You just don't do that, man. I mean, you just don't. That's literally like a cheerleader talking trash in front of a bunch of people about somebody else at the high school. You know what I mean? Like, that's the equivalent.
Especially when you're the loser, when you're the ugly one, you know? Don't be talking about somebody being ugly when you don't look so good yourself.
And look, I haven't seen John Wick 4, and I'm one of the ones that like Shazam 2. But I also
one of the ones. I mean, there might be two people on the face of this planet that like that movie.
There you go. Well, I said that it's not. I haven't talked to anybody actually outside of you and the people I saw it with that have even seen it, just because it didn't. Nobody saw it. It made no money.
Yeah, I've heard this take from a couple people that was I don't know. As just saying that Shazam was better than Ant-Man, I wholeheartedly disagree with that. I did not like Ant-Man, but Shazam, the only thing that I will say that could possibly be worse than Shazam is She-Hulk. She-Hulk might be the worst thing I've ever seen, period.
She-Hulk was terrible. And I
Shazam was
don't
right there with it, though.
see, I disagree. But look, we've already had a whole podcast about this, the last one, and
Anything that might
you just said the last thing you were pissed off. The last thing that we talked about was Shazam.
Still angry about it. That's why I'm still talking about this.
Yeah. Well, but what I was going to say is, with that being said, though, I am expecting to like John Wick more than Shazam because, first off, I'm kind of tired of this superhero deal, and I kind of miss the action movies. While John Wick is definitely a little bit more elevated than reality action, it's still awesome, and it's still the pacing and the style of movie making is very cool, and it's adult. You know, Shazam was a family movie, so I'm already knowing that I'm going to like John Wick 4 better than Shazam 2. But I did
listen. John
really
Wick 4. There's some scenes of John Wick 4 that are action scenes that I haven't seen before. Now, China did them first. Let's be real, but you know,
so much stuff cinematic
Yeah.
first.
yeah, exactly. Especially when it comes to action movies, right? But I haven't seen them in action movies. I've only heard one person complain about John Wick 4. Like other than that, it's a masterpiece, and I don't think many people disagree. I'm excited to talk about it. Hopefully, we will get to talk about some.
Yes, I told Anshul that,
soon.
you know, I did tell him just a second ago that I'm really thinking about trying to figure out a day where I can literally go just watch 3 movies in a row at the theater because I have that AMC pass. I can do that. And if I can get knock out John Wick 4, Mario Brothers, and I think there's one more, then I'll feel actually caught up.
Renfield, which I'll be talking.
Yes.
I'll quickly review a couple of those movies for you guys because I know you guys have missed our reviews. I know you have. Don't try to lie.
Of course, I know the world has been dying.
Yeah.
Hey, before I forget, because I will forget this, Dungeons and Dragons is getting good reviews, but
it is. And here's the thing. I had free passes to watch that movie, but I ended up going to watch Shazam instead. I've never regretted a decision more in my life.
Like more in your life, really. That's
if I could go back in time and redo one thing, it might be that one. And listen, I have a lot of regrets. I've screwed up a lot. But if it meant that I get to get that stupid movie out of my head and pretend like I never saw it, then it might be worth it for me.
Well, I tell you what, I am actually really happy to hear that it was good and pleasantly surprised, just because the trailers that was not a good trailer.
Yeah, it was terrible.
So whatever they did wrong with that trailer, they need to learn from their actual film. But you know, I heard some people saying that maybe, and I think it might have been Paramount that released it. Paramount was talking about they knew that this movie was so good that they were prepared to take a loss on the first installment because they had something that they were really confident in, and they were willing to take a little bit of a loss as long as they were confident they could gain the traction critically to whereas by this next movie, it might actually have an audience to attend.
Yeah, maybe I'll watch it. What's Derpy saying? Looking for a Superman Legacy. They're apparently looking for a younger actor similar to Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt is young? Question mark? Well, listen, the way Shazam is, apparently you can be 55 and young, you know? The kids in Shazam are all old enough to have real kids of their own, but with their kids. Zachary Levi is 75 playing a 30-year-old, so maybe.
And look, do I have complaints about Shazam 2? Of course, but I still enjoyed the movie. I have complaints about the first Shazam, but I still enjoyed it. But
it was ass, guys. It was ass.
With that being said, do you want to get to this first topic we got?
Yeah, let's talk about this, even though it really disheartens me to talk about this. I am not happy to talk about the story, but we need to. So let's go ahead and let me go ahead and bring up our banner here. Major's Problems.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, we want to talk about that first? We can talk about that.
No, my fault. I thought you had that as number 1. You do it. Major's Problems. My fault.
Yeah, Major's Problems. Yeah, I think this is obviously the biggest story. So last time we talked to you guys about this, we were like, oh, it's the year of Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors is about to take over. Hollywood don't even know what they got on their hands. Jonathan Majors is about to be a megastar.
We weren't even the only ones saying that.
Yeah, we weren't. Apparently, though, Jonathan Majors likes to box more than Michael B. Jordan. And that's usually not a problem unless the person, your opponent, is your girlfriend. And then that's a major problem. You know? Yeah, man. So I heard. So Jonathan Majors was accused of some sort of assault, and then there were all these stories going out there. Like, listen, he has multiple witnesses. He has video to exonerate him, and I thought that was going to be the end of it. But then, and I wish I had this tweet saved. Somebody put out a tweet saying, "Hey, listen, this is not the first time that Jonathan Majors has done something like this. Producers have known this guy's an abuser for years, and it should start coming out soon." And I didn't really know how to take that. And then here we are a few weeks later, and that rumor has become louder, and multiple sources are now picking up the fact that there are more accusers that are about to step forward that accuse Jonathan Majors of being a serial abuser.
4 more.
Yeah.
Apparently that are working with the New York police. I think it's the New York police, or Manhattan police maybe. But man, dude, like what a huge fall from not just grace, but like future.
Yeah. Derpy is making a point, or as makes make a point, Chris Brown still has a career. Yeah, that was, first of all, that was prior to Me Too, right?
Prior to Me Too, and at the same time, I don't know how much of a career Chris Brown has as far as on the level of majors. I think Chris Brown
he was on his way to being Michael Jackson.
Right. And now I think he's just hanging on with his fan base.
I mean, he's still a big time pop star, but he was going to be a megastar, you know?
What I can do with my feet.
Yeah. I mean, he's still one of the best dancers ever. Let's not get twisted.
Well, yeah, I mean, so is Jason Derulo, and he's apparently got.
But Jason Derulo was never on Chris Brown's level. Chris Brown has got hit after hit after hit, even to this day.
Derulo too, man.
Nah, man, that's not even close.
All right, I'd like to do some research on that. I don't know enough to fully argue about it, but in my eyes, Derulo's up there.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Derulo seems like a nice guy, but I mean, Chris Brown clears Derulo. We're not even gonna act like this is a conversation.
I like Derulo's music better, for sure. No, I'm not kidding you.
Bobo,
Cheyenne's a badass song, dude.
Bobo, I'm just thinking you like bad things. You like things that are horrible.
Hey, that's not. I don't think that's the case at
all. He's not. Derulo's not horrible, but come on, man. Chris Brown was a certified pop star.
I don't know anybody that likes Chris Brown like that except for you. I know a lot of people who like Derulo.
Are you kidding me? This guy's a multi-platinum selling artist.
I'm not saying.
I would say if we look up their album sales. I don't know this off the top of my head, but I think I'd feel pretty confident in saying Chris Brown has outsold Jason Derulo by.
You might be right. I'd have to. That's why I said I don't know enough about the stats.
Keanu Reeves and Chris Brown posters all over your room.
Oh, I love this. It's late at night over there for Esmaniac right now, so it's kind of like.
It's because he's salty that I pointed out that Keanu Reeves now clears Sylvester Stallone as an action movie star. You know why?
That's because an opinion, right?
It's because he's a legitimate action star. He actually does stunts, unlike Sylvester Stallone, who does fitness magazines on film. Let me pump some iron and flex, and let's call it an action movie.
Dude, what? I'm
just saying, man.
I'm done.
I like legitimacy in my movie stars.
I'm done. I'm over it. I'm over it. Why are you hating on Stallone all of a sudden like that? What are you talking about?
Hey, man, Ed started.
Stallone is.
Yeah, let's get back to the serious.
Do not speak ill of Stallone ever.
Let's get back to this serious conversation of Jonathan Majors, because I feel like we're not doing his victims justice by joking around. So my apologies. I started that. I don't know, man. Like, listen, we haven't heard what the accusers have to say. I guess there's always a possibility he could get railroaded. This is kind of ironic for me because, guys, I just did jury duty. And, of course, the trial was a civil sexual assault trial, which is the last trial you want to be on in this day and age if you get jury duty, because it took multiple days. And just to note, we will be doing an episode for our Patreon finally, and I'll probably go into more detail on that because there's a lot of interesting stories. But this is a hot button topic now. And so if there's any smoke behind this fire, it's probably a career killer, or it's at least going to set him back, significantly.
It's not in any way doing good for him. Like, there's nothing good about this. Even if he gets cleared, it still did a lot of damage. His PR firm has dropped him. His management firm has dropped him. I mean, like, literally, he's losing all support. He's being dropped from roles. He got dropped from an Otis Redding role. Mm-hmm. He got dropped from the Dennis Rodman role. I mean, just boom. I mean, if there was ever any Creed 4 coming along where he was going to be like the Apollo to Rocky character, that's over. That's not happening. You know what I mean? Like
He's getting dropped from commercials. Something local. There was some local company that hired him for commercials that just dropped him.
well,
Oh, the Texas Rangers.
he's from
Texas Rangers
Texas. Yeah.
dropped him. The Army dropped him. You know,
Yeah.
that Army commercial was fire. That was the first good Army commercial I've seen in God knows how long. And
It's just nuts to see how much he's lost, man. And this is before the court date, which is May 8th. We still don't know what he's going to be charged of, if he's going to be charged for, or convicted of, excuse me, if he's going to be convicted. And like I said, even if it's cleared, this still, all the things that have come out about people saying he's got an abusive history now and all these people, that these women, it's not doing any favors for him at all, even if he doesn't get accused of being guilty, you know?
yeah, I mean, will it destroy his career completely? Yes and no. It'll make sure he's never a star. Hollywood, listen, Roman Polanski still has supporters out there, you know.
It's a little different, I think, for a director, though.
Well, still, though, I mean, listen.
I'm talking about for the public eye to accept. Like half the people don't even know who the directors are of movies they're watching.
Yeah, but they know the story about Roman Polanski. That's the one that the people that pick on Hollywood always bring that up, right?
Now here's a question: if he wouldn't have been associated with the Charles Manson case, would people have really known who he was so much?
I still think it would be pretty scandalous when you have sex with a minor as a director and you flee the country to
to
escape the charges.
I'm not defending. I'm not defending the guy.
You would think that would get him sympathy, actually, going through those murders, but you know, yeah.
I actually don't prefer to watch any of Roman Polanski's movies going forward, just because I do know that. Now, some like Rosemary's Baby that I watched way before I knew about any of that. I mean, I do have that in the collection. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I was gonna make a joke, but I'm gonna leave that one alone. I don't want to get demonetized.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, listen,
we're still making light again. Look, if he did something, if he does these things, first off, that's terrible. We don't condone anything of that. He gets what he deserves. You know, you don't beat women. You just don't. But you know, he has not. We don't know if he's guilty or yet not. But it's not looking good.
Let me put it this way: Aziz Ansari.
Oh, yeah,
he's done. And listen, we all look at that situation. We're like, this is ridiculous.
And he did get screwed. He was not guilty of anything. Like, legitimately,
he was guilty of being an asshole. That's it.
Right.
You know,
which we already knew that, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen his stand up? Have you seen who he is? And his, you know, like that's kind of his humor.
Yeah.
I don't know. It sucks for him for sure. He's kind of had a comeback, but still, like you said, it's painted this dark cloud over him that people want to erase.
Well, his last movie just got canceled because of a controversy from Bill Murray. Bill Murray was going to be a big part of the movie, and Bill Murray got Me Too'd, and that canceled his movie. So poor Aziz Ansari cannot escape the clutches of Me Too to save his life.
Yeah, it's just haunting him. Now, big question. What do you think? Let's see. What does he say? Remember, most people don't know.
Well, they did this year, as I beg to differ on that. He was.
Yeah, I think you're wrong about that, man. They're making it's a big deal over here. I think maybe not over there and some of this, but he's a big deal over here.
It just became a big deal.
And what he for the past about year and a half, he's been a big deal. Like when Lovecraft Country came out, that's when people started really noticing him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had, was it the Five Bloods that he was in? Was that what it was? I think.
I don't remember.
And then we all started hearing about him being this whole Loki guy, and then the Creed, and then not Loki, but he was in Loki as Kang, but then Creed, and then that movie Devotion. Like he was on his way, and then like he had all these things lined up, so he was going. Where does this leave Marvel though? They're gonna do something about it. Again, even with the dark cloud that it's painted, even if he gets accused of nothing, I think that they're gonna.
Well, let me counter my Aziz Ansari by saying Ezra Miller. Right. So we don't know.
Ezra Miller definitely had some weird stuff going on, but it never was fully like this, I don't think.
Why are you defending all these people that are having sex with minors, Bobo?
No, I'm talking about the charges. The way I don't think he had sex with a minor.
Yeah, that girl was a minor. That Native American girl.
Sex with her.
Something happened. That was.
I think that he was just hippified, man. I think that he was just trying
to. I think he did have a relationship with this girl, by the way.
I'm not sure. Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, look, I'm not defending what Ezra Miller did. I'm talking about on paper what the charges look like.
Yeah. I'm just giving you
his charges were only like criminal trespassing. I And I think that that was truly it, actually. I don't even know if there was a kidnapping thing involved because she willingly left on her own because she was of age.
I will say this,
Okay.
as is making some good comments here. As yeah, we don't mean to ignore all of them, but you're coming fast and furious, which we like, but sometimes we'll miss them. So sorry about that. They managed to bury Ezra's case. I think we're still hearing about it. I mean, I think we'll hear more about once Flash comes around because listen, it's if I'm somebody that's running news news site, that's going to get hits. So I'm going to play that up all day long. So I think the volume on that will turn up when we get closer to the release date of Flash, just for people to get clicks, if nothing else. And yeah, Disney is a parent company that owns Marvel, and it is a big family-friendly entity. And so, yeah, man, I think Ezra, you're right. I'm sorry, Esmaniac, you're right. I think at the end of the day, they're gonna have to drop him and recast him, and it sucks for him, man. Unless he isn't a serial abuser, and then I don't feel bad for him.
With are you talking about with Ezra?
With Jonathan Majors, yeah, I
Oh
think.
yeah, no, that yeah, Jonathan. I think it's going to have to happen. It's just it's too much now.
What if Michael B. Jordan gets cast as Kang?
Do you think it would happen?
I
You think Michael B. Jordan would shave his mustache and little goatee?
mean, why he doesn't have to?
No, well, I'm just saying because, like, I guess that's a stylish choice the character made and doesn't talk about in the movies. He just decided to grow a goatee halfway through. I guess so. Captain America does, but there's a
Yeah.
reason. No, it's just they're kind of. This is pointing to my other thing, talking about like the more factors that you have involved in and more variables you have involved, the more opportunities you're creating for problems and things to go wrong. Again, Denzel, classic.
As that's the smartest thing you've ever said. Get Denzel. God damn, Denzel as Kang. I would be here for that all day long.
It actually could work because of the way he moves his lips and the way Jonathan Majors was very expressive with, like, he would always kind of do this like
Jonathan Majors Kang had this boiling intensity that was kind of underneath. Like you just kind of knew he was going to explode, but even when he was calm, there was this kind of boiling underneath tension. Denzel is just can be very intimidating when he wants to be. Right?
King Kong ain't got shit on him.
Yeah, exactly. You know?
Denzel is a badass. However, the last movie I saw him in, All the Little Things, he played a very straight man. And it wasn't that he did a bad job. It's just the character was very dull.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good script. Sometimes you can only do so much with a crappy script, you know? Sometimes you have bad actors and bad scripts, and you have Shazam too.
Yeah. Okay. Again, back to Denzel playing Kang. They could de-age Denzel like they did Sam Jackson and Captain Marvel.
I mean, I think you're just going to recast him and just pretend like it didn't happen. It happens all the time, right? It happened in Westworld. Or yeah. Westworld. I'm sorry, not Westworld. Game of Thrones.
And then, yeah, it happened in Harry Potter. It happened in Matrix. Yeah, it happens in stuff all the time. So, I mean, you're not wrong. It's just this one was like right as it, but maybe it's good that it happened right before it got going rather than happen like after the Kang Dynasty and before Secret War or something, you know? So, I mean, I've been assuming he's going to be a big part of Secret War, but who knows? Man, like I said, more things and going on with Marvel, the more problems you have when you have 80 characters you're dealing with now. You just have more opportunities for things to go wrong, people to die, people to do things and mess up stuff. And look, man, I think it's time for them to just I'm hoping at Secret War that they just end this ongoing storyline, this connective thread that we've gotten used to, start it over somehow. I don't even think that they honestly should incorporate the X-Men into this, but they're going to have to for Secret War.
Yes, you're asking them to put a lot of money, leave a lot of money on the table by not incorporating X-Men to do it, you know?
No, what I'm saying is they should wait. They shouldn't incorporate X-Men into this connected.
I mean, listen, we might just be at the point where these comic book movies have finally died, man. It's been a long time since we've gotten a good one. I think the last one that I really loved was No Way Home. Maybe there's another one in there. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's another one I loved. I like Black Panther. But I don't know.
No Way Home was the last one. No Way Home was the one that I could actually start to really feel the wear. Like I still really enjoyed Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and Eternals. I really enjoyed those. I still do. Yeah. But I felt the wear on No Way Home a little bit. I was like, this feels like they're kind of running out of something, but it wasn't. It was still kind of there. But after that, it really was starting to go somewhere.
Yeah, and listen, I have no faith in Flash. I know Derpy probably won't be happy to hear
I
that,
have
but
a lot of faith in Flash.
DC, you got to do something to earn my faith, and you've put out nothing but crap.
Now, Flash has been
Even
made.
Wonder Woman was overrated. Let's be honest.
The first one I liked. The second was meh, not good. But I don't know, man. I think. What do you? Okay, let me ask you this: Guardians.
Mhm.
What do you think, Guardians? What's your? Oh, oh, thanks, Ezzy. Do you think Guardians is going to be good?
Yeah. No, I don't. I'm gonna watch it. I don't have any faith. I think Ant-Man destroyed my faith in Marvel.
Did you like Guardians 1?
Yeah, I love Guardians 1. I like Guardians 2. I did not like Suicide Squad though.
Okay. But you still haven't seen Peacemaker.
Mm.
So okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm just curious as to if you feel like that there's gonna be an old school feel to Guardians 3 or if it's gonna feel like new Marvel. And when I mean new Marvel, I mean post No Way Home Marvel.
Yo, as that gun violence jokes don't hit the same over here. You got to know your audience with that one. We actually have that problem. Guardians will be a mess. Already looks like it's been filmed by someone else. I don't know about that. I think it seems very much James Gunn style, but yeah, I don't have a lot of faith. Now I didn't like the Christmas special. I thought that was very mid.
See, I liked it.
Yeah, of course you did. At this point, I'm not even surprised.
I don't understand what was bad about it. It was fun.
It wasn't bad. It just wasn't good. It was very blah.
Nah, you're wrong.
I mean,
I'm just gonna start replying like you because you just all you do is just shut me down and tell me I'm wrong. So I'm doing the same.
yeah, that's fine. That's what we're here for. Yeah, it was very meh. You know what? The sense of humor in movies, I think this is a bigger overall conversation we could have about writing in general. I've been on this horse for a while that I think humor is relying too much on reference comedy, and I think all the humor is coming from the same type of jokes, and that's a big problem for a movie franchise that has always used its sense of humor to separate itself from the pack.
Well, see, for me, the Kevin Bacon thing was the whole like 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon game, the joke
Yeah,
about
that's
that,
great.
and so like,
Yeah, no, it's all reference. It's all reference. Like,
no,
hey, yeah, the 6-3 of Kevin Bacon game. Yeah.
but what I'm saying is that one can kind of work because it took that whole fun joke to the next level that's already been played before any sort of MCU ever existed. So to me, that was kind of cool. But to do just strictly reference humor to what's referencing things at the time and when all that, or catch phrases and things like that, I agree. I don't like that. But
Yeah.
the Kevin Bacon thing worked.
Well, the reason I don't think it worked is not about the fact that they did the Kevin Bacon thing. Is that's what everybody's doing for comedy, and so it's starting to wear itself thin. So on paper, you might look at that and say, "Yeah, Kevin Bacon, it works because it's meta and people are going to get it." But when we're inundated with that type of meta humor all the time from every film, from every TV show, it starts to get old.
So Scream 6 was the same thing.
Yeah, and
Scream 6.
I didn't give. That's why I didn't enjoy Scream 6. Now I later walked it back because fans of the franchise, love that movie, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm just not a fan of the franchise. And I don't get it like they get it, and so I kind of walked back some of my harsh comments. I still, if you're a fan of Scream, then you'll probably like that movie.
It's my least favorite one.
There you go. Right. You're definitely, your opinion on that one, I will admit, will hold more weight than my opinion. But yeah, I just think writing needs to get tighter. And I think part of the reason that there's a problem is this style of humor is very nerd centric. Nerds are the writers. And it used to be that nerds had to write for audiences that they knew were different from them. I think they're getting lazy in the fact that they just think that all the audience is going to get their humor. And I think they're writing too much from themselves. You can do that as a writer. When you write too much for yourself and not enough for your audience, you can lose your audience. And I think that's what's happening with a lot of writers.
I think one of the things to be said is, and we have to bring this up since we're talking about writers, is that they are overworked. Writers, the amount of content they're expected to put out, it's because of the amount of content that is out.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And it's the same thing with like the CG guys. They're overworked. And at the end of the day, there's only so many people that are good writers. I mean, and even then, I think that they're having to hire bottom of the barrel some of the time.
Yeah, or you're putting writers that are mismatched with, like, the She-Hulk writer does Rick and Morty. People love Rick and Morty. I've only watched it here or there. I've enjoyed the episodes I've watched, right? But she just probably wasn't a good fit for She-Hulk at the end of the day. Thank you, Ez.
No, she's not who I think she's good, like as an actor, but
No, we're
she's
talking about
not.
the writer.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I don't know why I jumped to Tatiana. But no,
Muscly.
the writing did not work at all for me in that movie or in that
Yeah,
show.
what was it? It was all reference meta, super meta humor, right? Like the whole series was based on attacking Twitter trolls. We
Yeah,
know we're gonna get Twitter trolls, so we're gonna base the entire series on attacking these trolls. That's not a good reason to write a TV show.
two
That's not
most
a good
pissed I've
premise for a
ever
TV
been.
show.
Yeah, yes, I agree. Two
Go
most
ahead.
pissed I've ever been watching something was when I was watching the ending to She-Hulk and when I was watching that movie Skinamarink.
There are 8 billion people on this planet. There are writers. They just assume that we will swallow whatever
Oh, that's
they
what I'm
write.
so tired of is them treating the audience like we're dumb. I hate that. Don't treat me like I'm an idiot. Don't like it's the same thing with horror movies. It's like, are you serious? I'm not stupid here. Don't do that. And that they are.
Yeah, I think as sometimes you have to spit, not swallow, is what Bob
Hey,
was trying to say.
yo, yeah, you know me, guys.
Um, yeah, man, it's I don't know how we got from Jonathan Majors to there, but I think some good points are being made. So I don't know. What do you guys
We're
think?
just talking about the future of the MCU, and then it just led to that
Yeah,
because they
I'm
are.
fine with it getting there because honestly, this Jonathan Majors is just it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. Domestic violence is something I have personal history with, so I
No,
don't
it's
want
not cool. It's never
to. Yeah,
acceptable. It's not anything that's. It wasn't cool before Me Too, and it's definitely still not cool.
yeah, and listen, I know a lot of us because we like these actors. I'm the same way. We kind of hope that they're being railroaded because you never want to see somebody that you've built a personal connection with, though it's not really personal. It's just through media. You never want to see or find out that they're a bad person when you find yourself liking them.
Yeah, like
But
I hope that nothing happened, but I definitely, if something did happen, then it's time for somebody to pay the piper.
99% of the time, where there's smoke, there's fire in these cases, right? That's the same, dude. This jury case I was on was the ultimate he said she said case. There were no good witnesses. There were only two witnesses, one for each. Both the witnesses sucked. There was no evidence of any kind. It was just his word versus her word, and her powerful testimony versus his complete lack of any proof to prove that they had a relationship, which was the basis of his defense. Is no, we were in a year-long relationship. There were no witnesses that saw them together. There was no text messages between them. There were no emails between them. There was no phone call log. If these things did exist, we as a jury did not see them, you know? And so at the end of the day, we had to side with her, right? Because we just got to go by the statistics. And the statistics are more than likely that she was, assaulted. And then you throw on there her powerful testimony, which is like, you're talking, she was crying. We had to take a recess to let herself get composed. It just
Yeah,
wasn't a fun trial. I mean, it was very interesting, but like I said, we'll go into more detail on the
the Patreon.
Patreon because I actually ended up taking a major role in the verdict because I was probably the juror that ended up making the biggest difference, like during the whole jury process. But yeah, man, it's not a fun subject, especially for me, just having go through a week of this. And so, we'll when we find out more, we'll cover it because you have to. But until then, it just sucks.
It does suck. It sucks for everything, but at the end of the day, at least it's not during in-game times, and it's during the shitty part of Marvel times. So,
Yeah, right.
uh,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, at least it wasn't Thanos.
hey, look, as he says, what was that ship that landed down in She-Hulk? That was the Shatari or something like that, right?
Yeah, so they think that it's going to tie into World War Hulk. Or no, that was for Scar, his son. That was
Right.
to set up a stupid post-credit scene. That whole entire thing.
Yeah, but I think that we're gonna find out that something else is going to be unfolded from what he did on that trip as well. I think.
Other than getting a crappy CGI son.
Yeesh. And it's like, hey guys,
Yeah.
check out.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, look at this. Judge Anshul Reinhold. Talking about your jury duty.
Yeah.
Classic.
We did get a funny movie moment during the trial because one of the witnesses came in via Zoom and the lawyers were having the hardest time figuring out Zoom. And they were just complaining the whole time. And finally,
23.
the judge stops them and says, literally, I need you to understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. She literally pulled a Chris Tucker on them. Yeah.
No
we all just started cracking. Of course, you're not supposed to crack up. So I had to hide my face as I'm busting out laughing.
Yeah, but you can't say something like that and not expect people to not laugh, or you're in a
Yeah.
courtroom,
I mean, the judge was cool. She was super cool. I don't know if she got mad that we laughed, but we still didn't want to
but still, you're not
laugh.
supposed to.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially like during a trial like this, right? All right, let's move on to the next story. Buzzkill.
Jeez, dude. A
Yeah.
little bit of an
RIP
end of an era.
BuzzFeed News.
I can't say that I actually fully like was avid on them all the time, but they've been around forever, dude.
Yeah, they were early pioneers of the internet. You know, I this series that they did that I loved was a series called Worth It, where they had these two hosts and they hit up three different types of restaurants. So they'd be like, "Hey, we're gonna eat tacos today," and they go and find a cheap taco, a mid-price taco, and like a super expensive taco. Like they did one for hot dogs where they ate like $1,000 hot dog that had like
Oh, gotcha.
caviar and
They
all
do
sorts of
3 tiers of them, a low, medium,
yeah.
high.
That was a great show. So they had some good content, but I think what we're finding out now, which is good for your boys here, is the internet. The big businesses have not figured out how to monetize the internet yet, but small time creators have. And so, you know, start giving us money so we can be some of the success stories.
Yeah. Well, it is interesting that it's kind of the same way as like the big boys are dominating on the internet because people realize, oh, I don't have to pay for variety. I can just click on it. And
Mhm.
yes, there is a version of variety that you can pay for, that, and the same thing with Hollywood Reporter, same thing with Deadline, all that. You can pay for a version every month, like a subscription that gets you like all kinds of crazy access to stuff, but you don't need that. You can still get all the main
Yeah,
articles
it's
on
called
there.
Twitter.
Well,
Yeah.
even on their actual website is what I'm saying. And the way that they've done their websites and the way that those guys report first and everything, people like BuzzFeed, it's tough. But
Yeah, like
when Variety was still in print form only and stuff, BuzzFeed was cool,
mhm.
Anyways.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of people that have good sources that are for free on YouTube and Twitter, right? So, and then Asmaniac, who apparently is the internet, is he the final boss of the internet? That's what I want to know.
I love the mood that he's in right now. I can tell that he's
He
definitely
must be drunk. It's late night there. He probably had one
No,
drink.
he's not a drinker.
Oh, he's not?
No, he's definitely probably he likes to get on there and just talk a little bit of shit. I know he was looking forward to this. So
Yeah, I'm glad to have him back. I'm glad to be back. But yeah, what are your thoughts? Any more thoughts on BuzzFeed? I just thought it was really interesting that now I don't think it's the entire company. I just think it's BuzzFeed News that they're shutting the doors on, so they're laying people off of. But
I wouldn't be surprised if they're sort of pivoting and shifting and maybe revamping a little bit.
Interesting. What do you think they'd pivot to?
Just like exactly. I don't mean pivot to a different type of. I'm saying like just restructuring the way they do things.
How so?
Just maybe get a better grip on their internet presence, like you were talking about. Maybe come out like what was one of the other ones that died, and it's not Ain't It Cool News, but it was something that had sort of a tagline like that.
Ain't It Cool kind of died, but they kind of died because their founder got Me Too.
Oh, well, that'll do it. But what I'm not, it was on the tip of my tongue just now. But anyways, they ended up turning into something else, like a different name. And it was the same style of thing they were doing, but they like grew bigger and turned into a different, bigger company rather than just keeping the same name. And I can't remember what it is right now, but I'd be curious if they were doing something like that. Cause like you said, I can't see them then just being nothing.
Well, BuzzFeed News is their news site. So I wonder if they're still going to do YouTube content. It's just the news that they're going to get rid of.
Right. Then it could be too.
Yeah, because BuzzFeed News always had stupid stories. Like, my brother's friend Arjun Gupta was once named the most handsome man on TV by BuzzFeed News, but who gives a crap?
By BuzzFeed, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I hate that guy too. So
there was somebody that asked me to be a part of this awards thing one time and present, like they saw my channel and would like you to present this thing on this. And they contacted me. And so I presented it on this award ceremony, put this video together. And then once I realized it's like this person, this ceremony thing is nothing. It was silly.
Nice.
No, not nice.
You should have done it, dude.
I did do it. But what I'm saying is that after I did it, saw it, everything, it's like it turned out to be kind of just It wasn't really anything.
We'll start doing our own rewards. We'll do rewards too, but awards. How about that?
Yeah, like the Dundies, but we'll call them. the reelies, something, I don't know.
Yeah, the reelies, the reels. We'll just call them the reels.
The reels, yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
brass reel. Just how about the brass reel awards?
No, no brass. All right.
Okay. Sorry, we don't like that word.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Brass is we're out with brass, man. Brass is cheap. We're gold. We're
hey,
solid gold.
so
We're diamond.
speaking of cheap,
Uh-huh.
I noticed that you brought this up.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's an interesting reason I brought that. I mean,
You
like it's
guys,
a very important story
for
that
people
I
just
really want to
listening,
talk about, and you can keep that up there for a little bit longer as I'm messing with something right
yeah, for
now.
people just listening, we've got a picture of the makeout scene in Wild Things with Denise Richards and Nev Campbell, both early in their careers, and great movie, by the way. It really is an awesome
It
movie.
actually
Uh-oh, lost Anshul. Lost you. You there? No, you're no longer there. Negative.
got you. There you
There,
go.
there you are. Yeah.
And my mic unplugged, and so there you go. It automatically mutes you on yard when you unplug. But yeah, so yeah, Denise, she's coming back on Real Housewives. Do I really care about her coming back on Real Housewives? No, I never even knew she was on Real Housewives in the first place. I really just want to put that picture up. So we're
Yeah.
talking.
Now, does that mean Charlie Sheen's going to be on there maybe occasionally? That'd be awesome. See old
That guy's still
Skeletor.
alive is shocking me. Remember when
That's what
Charlie
I'm saying,
Sheen?
old Skeletor.
He was the rage on the internet, man, because of that crazy interview. And there's sometimes where you just look back on something and you're like, I can't believe I was into that. And Charlie Sheen being hot for that interview where he talked about having tiger blood or whatever is one of those things I look back on. I'm like, I can't believe I thought that was a thing.
Yeah. So what was that like? 2008, 2009, 2010ish, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Maybe 2008. Yeah, dude, that was nuts. I cannot believe that was for real. And what's funny is that when you watch Two and a Half Men, and there are parts of that show that are funny. I mean, it's kind of formulaic and silly in moments, but there are parts of it that were funny. But you can see the moment where he really fully like got let go and had like a meltdown, and then the episode that they filmed for him to come back and end it. And I guess we lost.
No, I'm here. I'm trying to mess with the lights. So I'm putting it
Oh, but the episode that he comes back from, like you could tell it was like a 3 or 4 month hiatus. He looks like 10 to 15 years older than he did that episode before he actually got fired from the show. And it's scary to see like this guy that you imagine if you saw your friend and then 3 months down the road you see him again and they literally look like they just went through hell and like had 3 ODs. But I think that's kind of what he went through. I think he went through a bunch of just psychotic breakdowns, was doing way too many drugs and drinking way too much. And I think he like hit a literal mental and physical breaking point.
Yeah.
It was just weird to see him like in that transition so quickly.
Yeah, I think it's just crack is a hell of a drug, basically, is what sums that up.
Still had that on here. God damn, I've got it off of there because we didn't have the space.
Yeah, crack is a hell of a drug. And so I think that's basically what came down to with old Chuckles, old Charlie Sheen.
Yes.
Denise Richards, back in the day, man, she was certified.
Oh, man.
She's older now, so.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, she was, oh, geez, dude. And she still looks good because, she still is a beautiful woman. But man, when she was like in World Is Not Enough, the Bond movie, and oh, dude, she was just something else in that, dude. Now, actor wise, I've never gonna say anything on that.
Who cares?
Yeah, you're right, but I mean, it'd be funny when you see her in certain roles where it was trying to be like and it'd be like when she's next to Pierce Brosnan, and Pierce Brosnan is a good actor, and then she's like it's just funny. It's this. I always wondered how he felt in that scene.
I mean, that movie wasn't good.
No, it was a bad. That's definitely his worst. But the Pierce Brosnan era is sort of when it started to get a little out of hand.
But that era of James Bond, part of the appeal was we want to see who the hot chick was going to be.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, and so we like that. Even the good ones that were good actresses didn't give good performances because they were literally just told, "Hey, you're just going to be a hot chick."
No, in GoldenEye, they both do really good. Famke Jensen and the
she's one of the best ones of all time, but she's also the femme fatale. She gets to have more fun. She's trying to kill him,
Love that movie. So Martin Campbell directed GoldenEye, and he also directed Casino Royale. It's like, let that guy direct the first installments of your new Bond franchises because he knows what he was doing. Those are arguably some of the best Bond movies. GoldenEye and Casino Royale. You don't
GoldenEye
think
to me
so?
was, but I didn't watch GoldenEye at the time for some reason. I didn't watch
Oh,
it until years later. You
yeah.
know?
I mean, it is 90s, so it's got a dated feel, but
Yeah.
all the Bond movies do. But yeah, I mean, that part of it was the buzz is that Bond had been gone. It was a new one. And to me, GoldenEye, when it came out, was fantastic.
I'll tell you what, that game was
Oh,
fire.
yeah. Revolutionized first person shooters, man.
Oh yeah, dude, we'd play that game for hours.
No kidding, dude. Like days.
Yeah.
See, here we go. Nice. Thank you, Ezzy. I appreciate
And the
it.
rest are shite, he said.
Yeah. Now, I don't think that the rest are shite. I still like, they get unrealistic. They do. But none of them are GoldenEye. I will
Yeah.
definitely give you that.
Dude, that's the apple of your country, Ez. That's your man.
Which he can speak on higher.
Yeah, exactly.
We got a couple more things we were wanting to talk about. What's the Beyonce pick for? I was curious.
Was it another reason to put a hot chick up? No, it's about Twitter.
I love me some Beyonce. Not going to take that away. Just
So Twitter today, this is pretty much breaking news, although we're not breaking it, took away blue check marks from a bunch of celebrities, Beyonce, J-Lo, Oprah. They just straight up took them away, and now they're going to make those people pay $8. So my brother's probably no longer got his blue check mark. If Beyonce doesn't have his blue check mark or her blue check mark, he don't have his, which is odd to me because one of his big things is cracking down on people who are impersonating celebrities. Like if I'm running an account that's fake Beyonce, I need to have it clear in my bio that it's fake Beyonce. Otherwise, he bans your account, right? But now by getting rid of the blue check mark, he's taking away one of the things that helps verify you're following somebody who's legitimate as opposed to a fake. So
yeah, I don't. To be honest, I don't know enough about it. So on the blue check mark side of things is what I'm saying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wasn't really aware that that's a thing.
Really?
That's the grandpa that I am.
Yeah, I was about to say, do you not just do Twitter?
I do Twitter, but I mean, I just get on there and post stuff. I'm not active and read a bunch of Twitter stuff. I just post my stuff and hashtag a bunch of stuff.
She the new James Bond. She could be, right? I mean, she's one of the biggest female musicians on the planet, or female celebrities on the planet. Rihanna's bigger than she is worldwide, which a lot of people don't know, right?
Yeah, Rihanna's got a more of a worldwide. This way to describe it to people, like Beyonce is from the States. She represents the Houston girl that came from all like nothing essentially, and she represents that girl from that area and that tribe in a sense. Rihanna's tribe is global tribe. Like it is literally goes all the way from her, and her music spans a little bit more styles. Beyonce sticks very much in that. And now it's hers. I'm not taking away from Beyonce. She's cool, but she's massive within her culture, but her culture kind of only stays in a certain area, whereas Rihanna's culture is sort of all over.
I would say she's the biggest musician in America. I would say Beyonce's probably bigger than Adele. Maybe, I don't know. That might be one that I could get proven wrong on pretty easily. But in my mind, Beyonce is bigger than Adele. She's definitely bigger than T Swift, but worldwide, nobody's messing with Rihanna.
Well, no. So check this out. I don't know if you're right about the T Swift deal because I was hearing some statistics the other day, and I don't know what this entails. If this entails record sales or if it entails concert sales or both rounded out in an average. But T Swift, it was listed as number 7 top selling artist of all time.
And where's Beyonce on that list?
That's the thing. They were talking about Taylor Swift on this deal and heard this massive tour. She was showing up in Texas, and then they ended the article. She's also, by the way, the number 7. You know what I mean? So they didn't go through the list. They just said that she was number 7.
They said largest selling artist of all time?
I think that their wording was top selling artist. So I don't know if that meant record sales or concert sales or a hybrid of both.
Okay, I'm looking at the list right now because I think Taylor Swift is wildly overrated.
I do too, and I'm not hating on her, but I've always said she is.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
I listen to Rihanna. I don't listen to Taylor Swift.
You can only play the victim card so much with me. Yeah.
Well, I'm not hating. I don't think that she's I'm surprised by the mass fame that she has.
When I listen to Billie Eilish and then I listen to Taylor Swift, and when I watch them perform, I just see a massive difference between the two. I just do. I'm sorry. Billie Eilish to me is wildly talented. And Taylor Swift, I always thought she was wildly talented, but then when I watch her after watching a real artist, I'm like, oh, this girl is very much an industry plant. Like,
I
it's
don't
not
want to.
that she doesn't have talent; it's that
I don't
she's
want to
also.
call her. I don't want to say that she's not a real artist.
Well,
I'm just surprised.
well, I didn't say she's not a real artist, but I think she's more
Well,
industry.
you just said once I saw a real artist. Once I started comparing her to real artists, you said that.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I did say that. I maybe she's not. She can play music and she can sing, but she's also got this appeal that I know, based partly upon her look, that industry looks at and they're like, oh, we can sell this girl, and that has large. That's a large reason for her massive success, in my opinion. Also, the fact that she likes to date guys solely so she can say that they wronged her and sell albums. I've never really respected that the whole strategy by her and her team, and so it makes me lose respect for her as a musician. It just does. We can say this now because we're not big enough to catch the ire of the whatever her Swifties or whatever.
Yeah,
maybe when we get bigger,
they'll always dig backwards though.
Yeah. Well, they'll probably they'll have to dig far back for this one.
I always put my disclaimer out there. That's Anshul talking, not me.
Yeah. Come at me, Swifties. I don't care. Give us the hits. I don't care if it's downvotes. Hey, give us the clicks.
Real quick.
Uh-huh.
This is switching subjects because we're definitely done talking about Swifty. Evil Dead Rise. Are you interested? Do you like the franchise? Do you care? Because I'm going to see it tonight. I'm excited, and I'm debating on just like drinking a bunch of coffee and trying to do like a very fast review on it.
I can't believe you're going to watch this before you watch John Wick 4.
Oh, dude, this is so much more in my wheelhouse. Come on.
Yeah, but John Wick 4 is a great movie.
But
I don't know if this.
It's 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, and look, Evil Dead is like holy grail to me, man. I mean, I've got my Evil Dead toys back. I mean, look, you're talking about Ash. You're talking about something that's huge.
Yeah, I loved
the only actual horror icon that's not a villain is Ash. Now, he's not in this one, but this is connected to the original story.
It was a third movie that I'm blanking on in the series.
Army of Darkness.
Yes, that's always been my favorite.
But again, you're not a horror guy, so it's okay.
Yeah, I'm not a hardcore horror guy. Like, I enjoy some horror movies, but you're definitely a hardcore horror guy. But
yeah. And
like to me, horror is in the same spot that I find comedy in, and that I'm just like, it's so hard for me to watch something and feel that same tension that I used to when I was younger and I watched horror movies. Like, I crave that need to be afraid, and I don't get afraid while watching horror movies. And so that's what takes away the joy of it from me, because things are so telegraphed.
No, man, I don't think that you're watching the right ones. Like, have you seen Smile?
Yeah, of course. I saw that. We did a review on that.
We did a review on Smile?
Yeah, I think we did that was one of the ones we both did a review on, or we both did a post show on or something. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't remember doing that.
No, I'm sorry. That was on my old channel, but I have a review on that. Yeah, Smile was great. There were some okay jump scares in that, but like for the most part, it's been so long since a horror movies made me feel like it used to make me feel, and I just think they need to change it up. I think there needs to be an evolution in horror movies.
No, I mean, I think that on certain franchises you can argue that with, but I think that there's plenty of horror movies that have been great. It's just not the popular icon ones. Like the Conjurings, like they should probably just slow down on that. The Saw movies, give it a break.
There's a new Insidious coming out, right?
Again, that's number 5. Just give it a break. But even though I'll see them all. But this Evil Dead, when the Evil Dead movies, they've been so sparing with them. And again, this one's getting really good reviews, and I loved the Evil Dead remake. The remake was phenomenal by Fede Alvarez, and this one's produced by him and Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell. So I'm personally really excited. Like I said, 98% on Rotten Tomatoes.
90. It's 90%.
Oh, it's 90. So it's gone down. But still, 90's good. And what was Mario? 48%.
Yeah, Mario, though, after watching Shazam, Mario was a goddamn masterpiece. We can talk about that next if you want to, since I watched both that and Renfield, like quick reviews. But you put Mario in the top. After watching Shazam 2, put Mario in the list of greatest movies of all time.
We'll see how I feel about that comparison. I'm excited to put Shazam 2 in the collection, whereas
the trash bin collection?
Quantumania, I'm just going to be like, I'm just adding it to the MCU collection because I got to complete it. Terrifier 2 was a baller. He ain't going to watch that, though, and he'll trash on it. I know he will.
Oh, this is only the second person that I've seen that hated John Wick 4.
Yeah. Yeah, he said, let's drop it.
You play Crazy in Love in the club, and all the girls got on the floor. So sorry, as we weren't keeping up with your She's Not Good, Taylor Forgettable tracks. Yeah, he's definitely on one. But you know what? For the most part, I agree with you, as except for fuck John Wick 4. I don't know why you would problem you got with John Wick 4, which is one of the greatest action movies of all time. Definitely better than anything Stallone's ever done. Just gonna say it.
No, it's not.
It is. It is 100%. And the action movie that's
fiction can be fun, buddy. If you want to keep on, I'd like you see to post something like that and see how many people you start just getting done.
I would love to.
Yeah, because the world is just all agreeing. Yeah, they're saying forget about Stallone. It's all about every awesome 25 Keanu Reeves action movies that don't.
Hey, listen, everybody's got some.
He's done a few movies in a couple of franchises. That's it.
Yeah, but he's legitimate. He does real stunts. He doesn't just flex.
Talking about
he flexes. Stallone just
really boxed in Rocky Balboa. That's a real.
He really boxed. Come on, man. He didn't really
watch behind the scenes. He gets the whole movie. He's getting.
They don't even. What they're doing in those movies is not real boxing. It's just hooks. There's no. Watch real boxing
behind the scenes of Rocky Balboa, and he's telling the boxer to really hit him because he wants the scene to look real. And he's like,
and then watch a real.
Are you serious? Obviously, he's not putting his fucking knockout punch on him, but he's not doing bullshit stunts. Look, you can't say that because you're creating lies when you're saying
what's a real fighting style?
You're just talking shit because you want to talk shit. That's Stallone's based behind what you're talking about.
Okay, let's talk facts. Let's talk facts. What's a real fighting style? Keanu Reeves doing real jujitsu, or Stallone throwing a bunch of phony ass hooks?
I'm not saying it's not real, but you're saying that Stallone never did any stunts.
Stallone just does bullshit on camera that's designed to make him flex. Look, he doesn't do anything real. He's never been real.
I never hate on John Wick, and you're sitting here talking so much shit about one of my icons. So look, I'm done with the podcast. Let's end it because you're pissing me off. Because you're talking shit about stuff and you're creating false lies.
They're false lies. Those
are my opinions. Everything saying about Stallone is not true, dude.
It's my opinions, though, Bobo. It's my opinion.
Exactly, it's your opinion, which is not true. He did.
So why are you trying to make it about facts and getting upset with me and yelling at me when it's my opinion? I'm allowed to have my opinion on this podcast, bro. I'm sorry if you don't agree with my opinion. You got to yell about it.
He did real stunts, dude. That's what I'm saying. And you're saying that he didn't. That's all I'm saying. You're saying that he didn't do it. And he did.
He doesn't do it like Keanu does it. Sorry, he doesn't. That's a fact.
Okay. All right. So like this whole 30 years worth of a career that he built up in action movies mean nothing because of a few films that Wick did.
Yeah, they're better films. Sorry, they are to me.
All right, dude. Well, I love talking to somebody who just has a very closed-minded view on things like that.
Yeah, Bubba, we're allowed to have closed-minded opinions. You don't have to get upset about them.
Dude, because you're talking stuff that's not even true.
Yeah, because I can, because I want to. And you can have a different opinion. You don't have to get upset and yell about it and cause a scene on this live stream. Sorry, you don't. We're having fun.
Dude, I thought we were talking. I thought that's what we do is go banter back and forth.
All right, man, but we did. Okay, because you said you were really getting upset. So that's why I got defensive. You were like, we're about to end the stream. I'm like, all right, chill out, man.
And am I still on the stream? I could have been.
All right. Then we're fine. We're fine. Sorry about the guy. Sometimes the parents fight, but I thought he was legit getting upset. And I was like, all right, that ain't cool.
Dude, I was just talking about the fact that you're literally doing what Fox News does, is blatantly tell stuff that's not true.
Yeah, you're goddamn right. I'm telling my opinion, of course. And that's what we like movies, because movies make you passionate. We can yell about movies. I will say this. Listen, one of the cool things about my jury duty experience is we had some very strong opinions from people that normally were on opposite ends of the aisle. If this jury experience had taken place on Twitter, it would have been nothing but fighting, right? Because you had some people that were hardcore, like, victim blaming, depending on what your perspective was, and some people that were hardcore feminists in the room. But the coolest thing about this experience is, despite the fact that we were having heated debates about the case, we all got along. Like, we all joked around. And really kind of, since we spend so much time online, you kind of forget that, because when you get online and you get on Twitter, you disagree with somebody, your heels are dug in. The other person's the enemy because you don't see them. You don't see the face. They're not a real person to you. So if somebody has an opinion that you don't agree with, it's very easy to be like, well, that person's just an idiot, or they're evil, or they're the devil incarnate, or whatever you want to do. It was nice to be in a real life situation where there's some big stakes in what we're talking about. People have wildly different opinions, and we're all able to communicate them without yelling at each other. And, we all left at the end of the day. We got to the conclusion we want to get to, and everybody got along. So, we can have different opinions. We can yell about them. But at the end of the day, that's what opinions are like. Hey, listen, it doesn't have to be personal.
Yeah, so you just started talking nothing but smack about Stallone as soon as one of our fans says "fack John Wick" with an F-A-C-K,
Yeah,
and you
he said
start
fat John
trashing on
Wick, and so
somebody
I'm
that I
talking
love.
trash.
He was making a comment, and you start trashing on somebody I love. So
Yeah,
it's like that at some point that doesn't become fun. That just becomes it's like, man, why are you just talking so much shit?
yeah. I'll talk shit about who I want to talk shit about, and you should too.
Yeah, I talk stuff that's real, and I'm not sitting here talking about things that aren't like true. And the things talking about Stallone not doing stunts is just not true. And again, that just is like, why would I want to talk about something where you're just trying to project stuff that's not true? I never said John Wick didn't do or Keanu didn't do his stunts. I never said that.
Okay.
That's all I was saying.
Uh huh.
So, like, yeah, we can disagree if we're talking about real stuff, but I mean, I might as well just go ahead and say that everybody's guilty of sexual assault just because they're accused of it. But I mean, that's like spreading false stuff out there.
It's
And
not
like,
false rumors. It's just an opinion, man. It's not false rumors. Like I'm the fucking authority on what's real and what's not real. You're not gonna sit here and tell me that I'm spreading false rumors. I'm giving my opinion, and that's my opinion. My opinion is Keanu clears Stallone. He's a way better action star. That's my opinion. If you don't like it, I don't care.
no,
At the end of the day, I don't give a shit.
your opinion is that Stallone doesn't do any real stunts.
Yeah, Stallone's movies were nice for the time, but when you compare them to John Wick, they just don't hold up because they look like ass. The action scenes and fight scenes look like ass because Keanu does the Hong Kong style that has always clearly been superior to the American style of action filmmaking.
Dude, I never said that I didn't think that Keanu was great. I even said earlier in the podcast that I thought that John Wick 4 was going to be better than Shazam 2.
Mhm.
I was never even saying anything bad about him. So it's funny to me that you just completely go to just trashing on Stallone.
Yeah, because I want to.
Okay. That's cool.
I mean, I was listen. Honestly, I'm doing it for fun. I got nothing against Stallone, but I don't understand the need to get so upset about it. Like, if I don't like something, then I don't like it. That's what it is at the end of it. You can disagree. I don't care if you don't agree. We have fun about the fact that you like Shazam and I hated it, but I'm not sitting here getting upset about it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, man. I thought you were just really trying to spread these lies that Stallone doesn't do real stunts. And that to me, that's just, I found that to be like, why are you talking something that ain't true? Because I've seen
Here's the thing:
stunts.
if you want to know my theory, my reasoning for saying he doesn't do real stunts, Keanu Reeves actually practices martial arts and does martial arts in his movies. Stallone does. I don't know what you want to call it. He does. Yeah. Okay. So he had somebody really hit him in Rocky, but those boxing scenes don't come across like real boxing scenes. It doesn't come across with a sense of realism that the Hong Kong style does with its dedicated months of training that puts actors through. And many of the actors that are starring these movies have dedicated their lives to, or parts of their lives to learning these martial arts, even if they're Hollywood versions of those martial arts. You know, after watching that stuff, you can't go back and watch something like, hey, listen, I love Schwarzenegger, but Commando, go back and watch those action scenes. They don't hold up. Not after you've watched the stuff that's been,
I look at stuff differently, man. I mean, like old music doesn't get bad just because new music comes out in my eyes. And it's the same way for movies for me. So that's that to me, they all have their place. I don't think that one erases the other.
Well, it does for me. It doesn't have to for you, but it does for me. I can't go back and watch old movies when they've been clearly surpassed like that. I mean, I can watch certain aspects of it. And listen, like with Schwarzenegger, honestly, his biggest selling point has never been action. It's always been his charisma. You watch the movies for his charisma. That's why he's a star. It's because he's got charisma. It's what got him elected the governor of California, despite the fact that he was born in another country, and who knows what he knows about politics, but he had enough charisma to get elected the governor of California. And he ran as a Republican in a Democratic state. That's always been his biggest selling point. And to some regards, Stallone's biggest selling point was never the action. He was a good actor. He was a good director. And then he kind of became an action star because I think that was kind of the era. And he saw that. He's like, all right, well, I got muscles and this era is about action. So I'm going to do action stuff. But I bet you if he had his choice, he would have stuck to just being an actor and a good director. It's just the action was the money. But I think you see that. I think when you look back at his movies, they're not as good as some of the other action movies by other stars because that was never really what his forte was.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't see it that way, man. I love Tango and Cash. I mean, I love Cobra. I mean, that's what half the reason I went and saw that. It's because I was so excited they were playing it. It still holds up for me. Yeah, there's cliche stuff in it, but that was part of the charm of it that I liked about it. So it just, first and foremost, I never was comparing John Wick to doing any sort of action person. I was just happy that they were making these movies. So for me, I don't look at it like that, and that's fine that you do.
Okay.
But they hold up for me. They all hold up for me. I'm not saying that all of Stallone's newer stuff was good, because I don't think some of it hit. I think some of it hit really hard. Same with Schwarzenegger. But I do think
Yeah,
that,
not all Keanu stuff is good.
well, most of the stuff he does is in action. He's kind of fallen to a few action franchises, but a lot of the stuff he's done that's his best is like The Gift by Sam Raimi. He plays a redneck villain in that. It's not action at all. And some of the stuff he's in that he can't really act, you know.
Yeah, listen, we're talking acting. Obviously, Stallone clears Keanu. Stallone is a good actor, especially when he wants to be. Right?
Yeah.
But
So
we're not talking. I mean, we're talking about action. I think with the Matrix, I think the Matrix will probably go down. Even though you can look back at the Matrix now and it kind of looks dated, right? But the Matrix will go down as arguably one of the greatest action movies of all time.
a lot of that was because of what it did cinematography wise.
Yeah, but its influence is still its influence.
It is.
And then the John Wick will go down as one of the best franchises action wise.
Yeah,
You know?
it will.
I mean, I can't think of anyone that has 4 strong movies as good as John Wick in an action, from an action perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I would say mine, but I know you're going to disagree with them. So
That's fine. Say him.
no, I mean, like, I think outside of Rocky 5, I think that all the Rocky movies are great.
But I don't think they're all action movies. That's the problem. Rocky 1 and 2 to me aren't action movies.
Right, you're right. Rocky 3 and 4 are more action movies, and they're definitely more about heart. Rambo 3 isn't the greatest, but as far as
Rambo 1 isn't an action movie to me. Rambo 1 is a social commentary.
it is, but it's like the last act is the third act is action. But I honestly didn't, from what I understand, part 4 is better than 2 and 3 of John Wick.
Ez has been very active. Let's get to some of his comments. The first 4 James Bond movies. Yeah, maybe. It's been a long time. I mean, I watched a lot of those when I was a kid. So maybe Stallone ripped his filming First Blood, ripped his arm. Is that a legit thing? I don't know. Keanu did his own stunts and Face the Music. All right. Yeah. So first 4 James Bond movies, you may have a point with that, as I don't remember them, though. I don't remember the first 4 as well, because I watched them when I was a kid, you know? And then if you're going to go back and watch them now, obviously they're going to be mad dated. The early James Bond movies there was a lot of camp, but that was kind of the time period. Right.
Yeah.
But I can't think.
They didn't. I mean, you were just satisfied to get an action movie then.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can't think of another 4, you know, especially not 4 in succession like this.
Yeah, I can't think of them, to be honest with you. But I mean, that's probably because I'm just drawing a blank. I need to sit down and I'm sure there's something that exists out there, but maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe the MIA series from old Chuck Norris. Yeah.
Shit. I don't know if there was a 3 and 4. I know that there was 1 through 3. Maybe there's a 3 and 4.
If you want to say, even though it's not 4 movies in a row, Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 as being the top action franchise, but then that gets ruined by all the crap that came afterwards.
Yeah, Terminator 3 was terrible. I like 4, but it was so disconnected in continuity at that point, because Terminator, it's hard to deal with that time thing.
What do you think of Dark Fate?
Terrible.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
Didn't like it.
We destroyed Skynet, but now there's this other Skynet.
Well, it's because the time thing always gets messed with, and they claim that they went further back in time and all this shit. Anyways, yeah. I mean, I thought Genesis was okay. It was better than people give it credit for, but
I never watched it.
I think Salvation was good with Bale and Sam Worthington.
Well,
but
this is true. I prefer Dark Fate to Genesis. I just didn't get Dark Fate. That's to me is the height of bad writing. It's like, okay. We're not going to do Skynet. We're going to do another thing that's exactly like Skynet. And they're not going to be Terminators, but they're going to be other robots that are exactly like Terminators. I didn't understand that at all. I didn't understand the logic behind that. You either go new or you stick with honestly, you should probably stick with the same formula. Then again, though, it does get the point where you're like, all right, how many times are we going to have to travel back in time to save one dude? You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. You get wrapped up into the time travel part and it gets convoluted in itself and confused. And it's like, you get in a weird, like, but what about this? And it's like, well, if that happened, well, then why wouldn't they just? And then it's just like, there's no winning. It's even in Back to the Future. As fun as that is, you can still, if you really start doing the thinking on it, you start catching yourself in some holes.
There's so many cool things they could have done with Terminator. You could have gone back. You could have found some stupid reason to go back to like the Middle Ages, King Arthur, whatever you want to do. The toolbox is open with time. You can do whatever the hell you want to do. You can make it as silly as you want. You can just go balls to the wall with it if you want to, or you can go super gritty. You can do so many things, but to just kind of rehash the first film, I just didn't get it at all. You know?
No.
I mean, then again, it worked with Creed.
Yeah, but that was kind of like a Star Wars deal where you're using different characters, but using a formula. But the whole thing with Terminators, they keep on going back to they go back in a certain time. It's like, oh, now time has changed. And this is what Sarah Connor looks like. And this is what he looks like as the cop trying to say, you know what I mean? It's like, that's stupid. Oh, and now Evil T-1000 looks like this guy instead of Robert Patrick. And it's just that's where they mess up, is they start trying to change the actual characters. You know what I mean?
How wild it would be if you did a Terminator where John Connor and his crew escape to like the time of the dinosaurs, and the Terminator has to chase them, and you have Terminator versus dinosaurs.
I mean,
right?
It'd be one of two ways. It'd either be done terribly and it'd be ridiculous, or some way they'd execute it and it'd be cool.
It could be cool, right? It could also be ridiculous. You're right. It could be one of two things, but like, just go in that direction. If you're going to keep doing these movies, give us something we haven't seen before, or just let it die.
Prey worked.
But that's kind of the same thing. It's like they took it completely out of its element, right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Because of that, that's why it worked. And they had always talked about doing a Predator in medieval times, but I think the Native American time worked a little better. I think it worked better with however, it'd be cool to see some Predator up against some chainmail and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Armor.
Yeah. Amy, is her name Amy Mindhunter, the lead of Prey? Did I get that right or wrong?
To be honest, I don't know.
It's close to that, but she was great in that movie. My old co-host did not like the fact that a girl beat a predator, though. They did not like that fact.
But
yeah, she uses her wits for sure.
Yeah, she uses her wits and her other people, and but even then, on that basis, no human should be able to beat a predator, but they do. That's the whole story, is that they're able to actually beat this monstrous, machinish type thing that should be getting you in one snap, and they're able to do it. So to me, in those movies, there's no difference between a guy or a girl. They're human to predator.
Yeah, I agree. Well, is there anything else we need to talk about? I know we got off track with the argument there. Our first fight, Bobo. You know what's the best part of fighting, though?
Making up
sex.
Yeah, we're gonna have that in just a second.
Yeah, yeah, that's gonna be off screen. And I think that's it for the stories today, guys. I want to thank you for Eds. I want to thank you for being very active today. I want to thank you for coming back after the long break. It's nice to know that those of you that tuned in haven't left us. Hey, listen, I don't know what our schedules are going to look like afterwards. Like Bobo said, he's dealing with some serious stuff, and so we're not going to make any promises. Bobo's got to get his stuff taken care of, and I fully support him on that, 100%. But we're going to try to give you some stuff when we can give it to you. And hopefully we'll be able to be a little bit more regular with the channel, because there's a lot of cool stuff going on in movies that we want to talk about.
Yeah, I feel like I've missed out on a lot of movies, and I'm actually going to go see Evil Dead tonight. So hopefully that'll get me back in the grind a little.
Yeah, I mean, I do want to go see it. It's just I already used up my free movie pass at Alamo for this week on Super Mario Brothers, because I forgot Evil Dead was coming out. So, but yeah, in the meantime, thanks for joining us again. Until next time, guys, just know this. Bobo can tell this to you personally, because he's keeping the same attitude that he always keeps. And that is, when life gives you lemons,
make some hot, fresh popcorns.
All right. Later, guys.
Peace.